the top comment on Reddit says, he told me there will be an Elder Scrolls 6. He told me of the significance. Oh, man.
Wow. What sucks. An update. That's incredible.
Yeah. Todd, stop spending so much money on jackets and come down to earth with the rest of us.
Yep. And finish the last Elder Scrolls game. All right, let's get into it. Episode 105. Hello and welcome everybody to the GGG Podcast. I'm Paul, and as always, I am joined by my illustrious co-host, Phil. We've got a great show for you today, our last show of 2025. These are the GGG Awards, and we are actually doing categories of awards. Unlike how we've done in the past where we've done a top 10, we're still going to have top 5s that we're going to talk about later on the podcast, but we actually made some categories and some things we wanted to see changed about the Game Awards. And just to clarify, some games that have come out this year did not make the nominees, not because they're not good games, but just because Phil and I haven't been able to play the amount of games that have come out this year. So we are relying a little bit on people's reviews and perspectives, but we try to stick with games that we've actually sunk a good amount of time into. So I'm excited to get into the awards. There's been some news this week, Phil. Did you hear about the Arc Raiders matchmaking news? We were all right. I feel like
I did. Yeah, I this is what I've been hoping for. I am a little aggrieved that lately I've been running into more D-bags or I guess PvPers. But I'm like, what does that say about me?
What's the difference? I don't.
What happened? I feel very personally attacked whenever I run into one. I'm like, oh no, this is a game thing. I'm this type of person. But I think they need to sprinkle those little turd pellets throughout the game to make it, really, really relevant, really meaningful when you extract.
So you're saying because of the behavioral matchmaking, so aggressive players with aggressive players, you've been running into more aggressive players, but you're not an aggressive player, so
yeah, I'm pretty chill. So what I'm saying is, like, what does this say about me? What's going on?
I see. Well, I mean, I think like we were playing last night and we were in Stellamontis, and I feel like if you're in Stellamontis, no matter what, there's somebody's going to be out for blood. That's just how it is there.
At least one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then, there was another bit of news that came out. I want to bring it up before we get into the awards, and that is Marathon is going to be coming out in March 2026, right around the corner. I'll be honest, man, I didn't think that this game was going to see the light of day. Why do you think they decided to run this announcement?
I think they're doing sort of a reverse Warner Brothers, where they we've already worked on a ton of it. Let's just plop it out there, see if it's good.
Just put out Batgirl, you know?
Yeah. For reference, Warner Brothers very famously made most of Batgirl, then didn't release it. And then similarly, like an Acme Tunes movie called The Case of Wile E. Coyote versus Acme.
Right.
Which was apparently a great comedy. All the people who've seen it in early screenings said it was amazing, but they're like, we'll make more money not releasing it.
I thought that they recently announced that they're going to release the Wile E. Coyote movie. Is that?
I think another company got the right, bought the rights to it to release it. So
okay, interesting.
But Marathon is going to release, and I doubt it's going to be very good. But we'll see.
I mean, to me, it must have been. Oh, my Christmas lights fell. Instead of wrapping a tree this year, I wrapped myself.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
Wrap yourself, smoke a tree, chill.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a Suits decision. This is Arc Raiders came out, and it's the most successful multiplayer live service game out right now, and they just beat us to market. So like we have a good product. It's what the market wants. And I don't know if it's what the market wants as much as they think it is. So,
no, we like Arc Raiders because it's well made. That's it. It's the extraction shooter part of it is not that much to do with it.
Right. Yeah. So I'm very curious about this. During the trailer, I didn't see any pricing for it. I don't know if it's listed anywhere. I don't know if they're going free to play, if this is going to be a $40 game. So I'm curious for any more news that we get about it before the end of the year, but probably going to hear a lot about it in January when we get some actually gameplay demos that aren't very old and still using the old style that they were taking a court over. So, all right. But enough about the news. I want to get into the awards, and I want to get into my top 5 at the end. So we have made some categories. These categories, again, are for mostly types of games that Phil and I play. So we don't have a sports category or a racing category. Not to say that those games aren't fun. It's just we haven't really played enough of them that we feel justified that we can make a decision on those games. So the first category up is Best Live Service Game. We got a lot of games in this category. First up, we got Marvel Rivals, No Man's Sky. I wonder who put that in. Helldivers 2, Warframe, The Finals, and Fortnite. And Phil, the winner is, for Best Live Service Game, Fortnite.
Wow, we did it.
Can you believe it?
We did it. We really
Can you believe it?
Listen, as not 12-year-olds, to give props to Fortnite like this was not an easy task, but really, they have put in the work with this game. They gave us a whole Simpsons, like they made Springfield come to life in Fortnite. You can run around and break stuff down.
Yeah.
They consistently come up with new stuff to add to the game, new weapons, new rotation, new items that change gameplay, and all of this for free, and then a pretty decent monetary thing on top of it. So, props to Fortnite, props to Epic.
Yeah, honestly, like I think as an older gamer, you can fall into this trap of just being like, well, that's for kids, so I'm not going to acknowledge it. And it's, Fortnite is primarily for children, and I'm not going to be like, I play it all the time. But the amount of content, the amount of things that they've added to this game, like the Simpsons update, the aesthetic that they nailed with it. They've, added like different mechanics in their game where you can ragdoll. And they added new, deployments when you're going into the match. It's the amount of content and continued work that goes into Fortnite. Like, it really feels like that's the Ready Player One game. Like, it really, really feels that way. So
give it about 10 years, and I think we're going to be jacking into Fortnite to
100%. So, like, I love No Man's Sky. I love the stuff that they've put out. I think the Finals and Marvel Rivals as well have done great jobs of, especially Marvel Rivals, of pumping out new content. But Fortnite is just on top of the hill, is king of kings over here.
And you know what? Good for them to come back and pull it down. It gives everyone else something to live up to.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, what's the next award we got, Phil?
Well, the next award is for Best Indie Game competitive scene this year. Here are the nominees. We have Deep Rock Survivor, Blueprints, Jump Space, and Megabonk. And the winner of the GGG Podcast Award for Best Indie Game is the Blueprints.
Woo! Oh, yeah.
We'll give it.
Oh, yeah. So,
it's, we added... I was a big proponent of Megabonk. I think Paul's the Jump Space guy for our team.
Yep, obviously.
But both of us looked at each other and were like, yeah, it's Blueprints. Dang it, it's Blueprints. It's just that good.
It just is. It is. I'm so happy that my partner turned me on to this game. I feel like it's just a really, really unique game in how it's structured and how it's a roguelike and how it delivers story and narrative through a very basic gameplay interaction. But it really challenges you and you can really keep going with it. And it's because it's roguelike, you can keep playing it for a very long time and still see things that you've never seen before. So I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's a true best indie. I think at the Game Awards, Best Indie went to Expedition 33. I get technically that that it's an indie.
Well, they made that game for under $10 million, so it is technically an indie. But for us,
yes,
that's fighting a kind of a different weight class right now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think indie also should apply to things that maybe people didn't know about as much. And this Blueprints was on the radar.
Yes, let's shine some light on a good game like Blueprints. All right, next category, Best Adventure Game. This is probably my favorite category of any game. This is my number one go-to. You know, I'm a sucker for those for those, PlayStation epics, the Spider-Mans, the God of Wars. And so this is definitely my category. So for the nominees for Best Adventure Game, we have Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, and The Outer Worlds making a little sneaky appearance here. And the winner is Ghost of Yotei. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's so easy. It's no contest, really, this year for me. I absolutely love Ghost of Yotei. To me, it really felt like an adventure that I was going on. It completely encapsulated me. And this is something that we talked about last week on the podcast, where we wanted to separate action game and adventure game, because in the Game Awards, it's one category, it's action adventure, and I feel like that's a pretty wide pool of things you can throw in there.
So for the Game Awards that have a lot of different categories for things that I'm like, those are not, they have best indie and then best independent game or some, they have very similar stuff, that I think that this is the type of split that we need, something that focuses more on the I feel like all of these games focus pretty heavily on the story of what you're doing. The action and all of it is there, but it's not all of the adventure. Part of the adventure in this one is riding your horse and climbing a mountain and then finding a little shrine and playing a flute. That is an adventure. Every time I played this game, it was an adventure.
Yes.
So
100%. I love it. I love it.
Let's roll on then to the I guess sister category, best action game. For us, we have Hades 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Hollow Knight Silk Song. And the winner for best action game goes to Hades 2. Everybody. Hades 2, I think, is just an impeccable game that stood on the shoulders of Hades, the original game, and changed up so much, added so much story. For a game that was rich with character development, relationships, and advancement that you were making on a gameplay level, to take that and transform it and alter the way this character feels, not just by how she speaks and how she interacts with other characters, but also how you interact with her as a combatant. It just feels great. It feels like they're almost developing a new sort of genre of game, and they are putting different solid installments in. What do you think about Hades 2?
They've really figured out how to seamlessly put in narrative in a roguelike, where you're not just being forced to experience that narrative over and over again. Where I think that's a problem that some roguelikes have. And so that combined with the impeccable action in this game, and I think obviously Hollow Knight Silk Song is right there. For us, it seemed like Hades 2 is a more accessible game in that it's a little bit easier, and that shouldn't be a deciding factor of whether a game is better or not. But we just feel like there's a little less gatekeeping. No pun intended. Actually, pun intended. Why not? There's a little less gatekeeping in Hades 2.
And I think Hades 2, it speaks more to actual action. The stuff that's happening in Silk Song, it is very tense for sure, and the fights can be bombastic, but it's mostly I just got killed by a worm again. And in Hades 2, you are fighting gods underwater, and there's a musical fight scene. Sorry, I think I was talking about Hollow Knight Silk Song. You can get killed very easily by little things. Yeah. Hades 2 is bombastic and action packed in a way that I think when I think action game. So
yeah, right on. I couldn't agree more. All right. Next up, we got Best RPG. 3 nominees for Best RPG: Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, The Outer Worlds 2, and Expedition 33. And the winner is The Outer Worlds 2. Can you believe it? So
that's right.
Yeah, that's right. We're going there. We're going out on a limb here. Let me explain our thinking, okay, with Best RPG. So I've played a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but ultimately how immersive it was a negative for me. where I have to say it is the most immersive RPG I've probably ever played. But when you're that immersed in it, it does remove a little bit of the fun layer for me. Still a great game, full of choices and consequences, and I love everything about that. So I want to give it its props, but the Outer Worlds 2 was a step beyond. And now with Expedition 33, my thinking here, and Phil, we talked about this on the last podcast, but I kind of see a modern RPG as a game that you actively can make choices in. And while there is a choice at the end of the game at Expedition 33, you don't really decide how to get there through the majority, actually, 99% of the game. So I felt like the Outer Worlds 2, it's Obsidian. It's the makers of New Vegas. You can kill anybody in the game, and the story has to reroute around whoever you killed so that you can keep progressing through the game. It is a total RPG sandbox. It may have some rough things around the edges, but I feel like it's a great game. So
yeah, I'm with you there. The reason I kind of pulled for this one in our nomination process is I think that there was a particular moment playing the Outer Worlds that I kept getting these pop-ups as I was playing that were like, hey, do you want to accept this flaw and this perk? And it was based on the way that I was playing that it was offering me okay, well, you've done this so much that you can level up, but there is a consequence. My favorite one was that I've been sneaking around a bunch, and I got one called Trick Knee or Bad Knees or something.
Oh.
And it made it so that I could crouch and move faster. But whenever I did, it made this crickly sound, your knees actually creaking, that would alert nearby enemies. I was like, actually, that's really fun. As someone who has D issues, that is a very cool and understandable addition to the game.
And that's awesome. And that's the game really giving you feedback on your gameplay style. And then presenting you with a choice whether you want to accept it or not. So that's awesome. A very well layered game, 100%.
All right, well let's scoot on down the line to our best shooter. This year, you might not be replete with a bunch of shooters, but we did have some heavy hitters this year. So we will start out with Borderlands 4. Doom: The Dark Ages, and Battlefield 6. And the winner of the GGG Best Shooter of the Year award goes to BF6. That's right, Battlefield, baby. Welcome back to the destruction. Come on down, DICE, and receive your award. Battlefield 6, I think it had a lot to prove after Battlefield 2042. After Battlefield 1, it's kind of on these different dips and moves throughout its life cycle, this franchise. But Battlefield 6 really made it feel like a modern first-person shooter where your choices as how you're playing, what you're doing, your role, all kind of matter to how your team functions. And it just feels so enthralling and epic when you're in it. They really nailed that sort of chaos of Battlefield. And granted, I've never been on the Battlefield. I've played paintball, and this feels close to that. This feels close to that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. I think, this game might not have won if it was a little bit more crowded of a year. But I just think Borderlands 4 was more Borderlands. Cool.
Yeah.
Doom: The Dark Ages was more Doom. I think they both had some unique things, but ultimately it's just Battlefield 6 had a level of polish, and it really brought back that war simulation genre, where a mainstream one where we're not talking about the hardcore military sims that people play, but it is something just to challenge Call of Duty. Because when there's nothing to challenge Call of Duty, you see what happens. The game goes down the tubes. So I had a lovely time with Battlefield 6. I know that they just dropped a winter update along with many games doing winter updates. So I'm excited to get back into it, especially with some good holiday time off. So that sounds great. Yeah. Next up, we got Best Multiplayer. For Best Multiplayer, the nominees are Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, Peak, Elden Ring Night Rain, and Mario Kart World. And the winner is Arc Raiders. Was there any doubt, even for a moment? The only reason Arc Raiders didn't win more multiplayer awards is because of how late the game came out. Mm-hmm. Like, that's really what it is. I feel like this game has brought extraction shooters into the mainstream, and it gets a lot of things right. The community has been unreal, especially when the game first came out. How nice people were. Everyone was expecting it to be Escape from Tarkov, and it still feels like that a little bit sometimes. But just the design, the AI, the weapons, the balancing, the free loadouts, like there's just so much that Arc Raiders gets right. I'm excited that Embark has another beast on their roster. And I know that they're a great company and they're going to continue to make great games. And I just want to see, I would love to know where Arc Raiders is a year from now. Like what kind of content, how many maps are in there? Like what can you do? Can you fight an emperor?
I'm sure that's happening. But just today they had a new update that added some pretty substantial things. You can respec your character class, or you can respec your character for a certain fee. There's a guitar in the game now. They've responded to player feedback about their blueprint drop rates. And as such, I think it's almost kind of like the reverse of how Helldivers acted after it released, where they really didn't listen to players that much, and we're like, all right, well, we'll just nerf this weapon, and we'll nerf this weapon, and we'll nerf this weapon, and then eventually they came around. But I think by that point they'd kind of shed some people who were like, oh, I really love this playstyle. I think Arc Raiders is sort of like, okay, let's find whatever dials we can make to give people more of what they want.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see where this game goes in the next year. Hopefully it'll be on our best live service game. And Paul, if you didn't know, log on today, you get 1,000 free real money coins just as a Christmas gift from Embark.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I definitely
we should put them on. Let's add them to Game of the Year.
Yeah, if you want to, I'm fine with a nominee.
No.
All right. Well, we got one more award, and that is the GGG Game of the Year. Phil, take us out, my guy. I'll give you the drum roll and everything.
All right. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we go back and forth? We've been doing one-on-one. Okay.
Such a communist.
Yeah, you know. The Game of the Year nominees are
Hades 2,
Hollow Knight Silksong,
Expedition 33,
Ghost of Yotei,
and your GGG.
The winner is Expedition 33.
Expedition 33. Did you have a doubt in your mind? Did you have a doubt in your mind? Are you kidding me? Yes. 100.
Yeah, it's got to be. Do you remember when I was playing this game, like at the beginning of the year? It was like February or March, and I was like, I think on the podcast, I was like, I think this is my game of the year. I don't know how it's going to be topped. We'll see what happens.
You just knew. You knew immediately.
and the year kept going, and amazing games came out. It wasn't like a bum slow year. It's just Expedition 33 for me, and for a lot of people out there, I think just got better and better as you played it, as you involved yourself more with it. Some of the highlights of this game are obviously the story. The visual design is incredible.
The visual design, the soundtrack, it's
the motion capture performances are so good. The voice actors. But on top of that, as a game, you really could do some insane stuff with your builds and do crazy amounts of damage with just how you spec out your character. There was a lot of mobility in there. Additionally, I think in terms of turn-based RPGs, this game did something that really redefined how to make that engaging by giving you the ability to dodge and counter and certain moves you had to react to. So you weren't just kind of setting and forgetting. You were very involved the entire fight.
100%. The visual style, the combat. I think I have been craving a turn-based game for a very long time, to the point that I was like, maybe see this, there's some old. I think there was one point this year I was trying to look up to see if I could download Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, which is a turn-based, I think, as a PS2 game. And the fact that they were able to bring turn-based back, but like you were saying, they stuck true to it, but they also added things to modernize it at the same time. And I think they kind of perfectly nailed what they needed to do, and something that I think Final Fantasy games have been searching for, because the Final Fantasy games have been changing up their combat so much because they've wanted to modernize it. And I feel like they've gone a little too far in one direction now, and they're completely not turn-based at all. And I kind of miss that about the Final Fantasy games. And I think that really why people are glomming on Expedition 33 so much is it feels like a Final Fantasy game. It feels like this is a European Final Fantasy game as opposed to a Japanese Final Fantasy game. And they figured out how to do it in a modern way that makes it super compelling. And then I would also say it's a hard game at times, but it is extremely satisfying when you get past those roadblocks. So, like, similarly to how people feel about Elden Ring, although I would still argue Elden Ring is much, much harder than this game. But there is that sense of accomplishment and persevering through adversity in this game. So it's a clear game of the year for me. Like, it just makes a whole lot of sense. I know last week on the pod, I was a little like, I don't think Expedition should have won all those awards. And it won 9 awards. I think it deserved 6 of them. I stick to that, and I feel like that's fair. And that's just because, I'm a gamer who likes a lot of different games. And I feel like we should give credit to other games, good games that have come out this year as well. Like, I was talking to a friend earlier this week, and it's like, I'm just as comfortable playing Stardew Valley as I am playing Warhammer. And I can have an excellent time with both of those experiences. But that doesn't mean that, like, one has to be better than the other. So anyway,
it's true.
That's my soapbox.
I think I really like our list. So just to recap our winners, Game of the Year, Expedition 33. Best Multiplayer, Arc Raiders. Best Shooter, Battlefield 6. Best RPG, The Outer Worlds 2. Best Action Game, Hades 2. Best Adventure Game, Ghost of Yotei. Best Indie Game, Blue Prince. And Best Live Service, Fortnite. I feel like we've got a nice mix of popcorn and art house cinema. Like we've kind of very well curated.
It's a lovely charcuterie board of video games. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. All right, well, for the second half of this episode of the GGG podcast, we are going to do our personal top 5 games, and this does not mean that we think that our number 1 is necessarily the game of the year or anything like that, but it's just the games that made the most impact on us personally. So, like, if a game got a review of a 6, on Metacritic or something like that, doesn't matter, because these are our personal opinions, and these are just our jams. So, do you wanna start us off with your number 5, Phil, or do we have some honorable mentions we want to talk about?
I wanted to throw in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
For me, there are 2 things I want to discuss. Mega Bonk was a game that kind of came out of nowhere for me, and it is a Vampire Survivors with very PlayStation 1 graphics, but just like waves and waves of enemies, and you get all these really cool abilities, and you can get these absurdly built characters by the end of a run that are completely different from that same character on a different run. A lot of fun. Easy to spend hours just jamming your brain full of endorphins and seeing new abilities. And then a game that I feel like didn't really get that much award buzz this year was Dispatch. Dispatch, I think, redefined the entirety of what those type of games can be. And I'm very excited to see the future of that. So,
well, I second on Dispatch. Absolutely love Dispatch. Honestly, I think it struggled with a lot of nominations because it was kind of like, where does this fit? And but for me, that's what makes it so unique. Is I actually think Dispatch is kind of a new media, to be honest, because it's not really a video game, but it's not a TV show either. something in between those two things. And I think like people on Netflix who work for Netflix, if they're not looking at Dispatch and being like, how can we do that on our platform? They're not doing their job. So, I 100%, I absolutely love Dispatch, played through it twice, made different big choices to see how they diverted, so that was really cool to see. And then also we know people who've worked on the game, so that's freaking awesome. So all right, for my honorable mention, though exclusively to me, I am going to mention Tavern Keeper. This is a game I brought up a couple episodes ago. This is an early access game where it is a fantasy tavern tycoon game. So I absolutely love this. I think tycoon games have really fallen by the wayside. They're kind of a genre that has been left aloof. We haven't seen like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Sometimes we see city builders, which are more complicated. But this is just a tavern management game, and I think it's awesome. It's perfectly fit in the fantasy realm, and it's fun and cute and challenging at the same time. And just because it looks like a cozy game doesn't mean that it's like super easy. So it's still in early access, so I'm excited to see its full release next year. We're going to get the dwarf city next, so you can do a dwarf taverns, so I'm very excited about that.
That's going to be rowdy for sure.
Absolutely. Lots of fighting in that one. so yeah. All right, but I'll get to my number 5, and that is Blueprints. Blueprints was my 5th favorite game this year. I think it really, again, like what I said earlier with it really surprised me how good it was. Like I'd walk by my partner playing it, and I was just like, I don't really understand what's going on. It's just one of those games where you just move around, you interact with things. And while that is true, there's surprisingly just a deep layer of everything that's going on in that game. And it really draws you in. And it's honestly, it's also a fun game to play on my portal when I'm in bed and whatnot. So
that seems like the best. One of my favorite things to do, like when I wake up earlier as I'm going to bed, if I forgot to do it that day, is like Wordle and Connections. Just that like little bit of puzzle stuff, like having as your brain's turning on or turning off is excellent. So I think Blueprints on the portal or a Steam. What is it called?
Steam
Box?
Deck?
No. Steam Deck would be that's such an excellent use of that. Nice.
All right. What's number 5 for you?
My number 5 is a game that I still love despite some warts. Monster Hunter Wilds was, I think, a good Monster Hunter game. And I think overall, like, a pretty great game. It just doesn't have as much as Monster Hunter Worlds did at launch. They really evolved a lot of stuff, but they also had so many issues with the game on PC, and like that's where I bought it first. So I feel like my taste kind of I got a bad taste in my mouth from that. But I still liked it enough to play it through 2 times to really grind for a lot of the weapons. The fights are still dynamic and fun, and like you have to learn each monster as you do it. And the armor is still really, really cool looking. I like that you get to ride around on the cool secrets. But obviously, it could not get any awards because it didn't have the cat people making food animations for Monster Hunter Worlds.
My major criticism of the game.
Yeah.
You would have seen it in categories if it had cat people. Mark my words, it would have happened.
Specifically making your food. But no. It's a good game, but just, Monster Hunter World was such a game changer that I was like, this is not the follow-up that I think that should have been, could have been, everything.
Yeah. Okay. I hear that. You Monster Hunter fan. Okay. For me, number 4 might be a little bit higher on your list, Phil, but it is Arc Raiders for me. Arc Raiders, my 4th favorite game this year. So I initially played Arc Raiders, and I was scared, and I didn't like it. And it's abstraction shooters are not the type of game that I'm really into, but I need to acknowledge when a game is so good that it brings me into a genre that I don't interact with. Like if We've talked about Hades, our best action game this year. Hades 2. Hades 1 is really like one of the first like roguelikes that really got me into the genre. I had played others prior to that, or like cooperative stuff like Risk of Rain and stuff like that. But Hades 1 was just so good. It made me like, okay, I get the point of a roguelike. I get that we're going for different builds and different runs and everything like that. And so for Arc Raiders, it really brought me into the extraction shooter. I love the design. I still get anxiety from it, so that's still a little scary, but that's the point of the game. That's the point of the game. You don't watch a scary movie to laugh. So yeah, Arc Raiders number 4 for me.
Very nice. For me, number 4 is Marvel Rivals.
Ooh.
It is a game that I keep just coming back to and being like, oh yeah, this is great. This is excellent. I get tired of playing a character, and then they release another very interesting character. At this point, 4 interesting characters. For reference, this year we got God, we got so many. But Daredevil is a really fun DPS. Blade is great in the Marvel Zombies mode, which came out and is also really, really fun. Gambit and Rogue are both so interesting. Gambit is like probably one of the best healers in the game. Also really great at DPS. And Rogue is a very challenging tank, but with the right support can do amazing stuff. The way that they rotate, like the costumes, like it's a lot of fan service, but it all feels very. There's a lot of free stuff that you can get in the game as well, so I think it's a solid, positive game, and I'm happy to see it continue going. I just hope it gets more recognition in the future. But by a year from now, it will be a completely different game with a completely different meta, and I think that's pretty dang cool.
Absolutely, and like you said, it was fan service, but like why else do you have a game like Marvel Rivals? The point of it is to be fan service. And so like I feel like they really listen to the fans as far as like what characters they want, what gameplay changes they want. They're constantly mixing it up. They're going back and forth. They're willing to change buffs and nerfs and everything like that. So I think they've done a really good job. And then they're putting out a lot of great costumes and designs. And it's like, I get it. It's a lot of money if you're trying to collect everything, but you don't need to. You don't have to. It's a free to play game. So
find your favorite characters and get your favorite skin for those, and you can probably do that for free. That's the thing I keep finding.
Absolutely. All right. So for me, number 3, my third favorite game this year, also a live service game that did not come out this year, Phil, and that is No Man's Sky. Let's go. I've talked about No Man's Sky all year, and it has been worth it. I fell off of it last year, but I got back on board for their update, I think Beacon this year, and then played through 3 more updates that I was not expecting, and it has been amazing. The fact that No Man's Sky does not charge for anything is incredible. Like, if you buy the game, you own the game and everything in it. And all of the currency that is in the game, you earn that currency. You don't purchase it. There's nobody in that game who can buy their way to the top. You have to do it, or you have to have friends who are going to help you do it.
I was just about to say, I wonder how they make their money. I mean, obviously, it's just new copies of the game sold. There's no in-game purchases, so that's pretty
it's just
crazy.
New players. It's just new players. Yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of the stuff that they are adding, they're also using the excuse of like, well, we're developing, what is it?
Light No Fire.
Light No Fire. So we're just putting everything new from Light No Fire that we like, or we're developing and going to do some different version of. We're just tossing it in No Man's Sky, because here you go. It's great.
Yeah,
it's excellent.
It's just a beta. It's a beta for the next game. So yeah, I have had so much fun with it. It's such a chill game, and it's nice to play a game that isn't about killing things, even though that's something you can do in the game. But it's nice that there's just like, oh, this is about exploring and like tracking something down, or managing your space fleet, or designing your cruiser or your Corvette that you can have in the game that they've updated and added new parts and so I've had so much fun with the game this year. I absolutely
it's like a Wild West Star Trek game. Like you're on your own, just exploring.
I'm a Star Trek sucker, so sucker for space. All right, what's Are you on number 3 now or number
I'm on
2?
number 3, and my number 3 is this. We're getting to the heavy hitters right now.
Yeah.
Personally, my number 3 is Ghost of Yotei. I think this, in a year without Clair Obscur, would be easily taking all the Game of the Year awards. It is. God, we didn't even talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows that came out this year as well, because
Yeah.
Ghost of Yotei came out and ate its lunch. It did kind of everything that those games had done, but better. It really added to the Ghost of Tsushima narrative, and it got, I think, really amazing performances. And you get a cool wolf. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to, like, I don't know if that's going to come up again. So we'll
It's
just
gonna
move
come
on.
up.
This
Yeah.
is
It's gonna come up. Again.
This is the.
No, you say your feelings. I won't say anything. So I'll say my feelings.
No. I think it's just an excellent game. The sword fighting is, I mean, it was practically perfect in Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know how they made it better, but actually they did by giving you a slurry of new weapons, about as deep as the katana was in the first game. So
Deeper.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Big time. Big time.
So hit me with your number 2, big dog.
My number 2 is Expedition 33. Yeah, it doesn't take my number 1 spot, but it's hard to deny how good the game is, even with its flaws that I have, voiced. But anytime a new IP has flaws, I feel like you got to give it some leeway. It's the Mass Effect trilogy is a classic trilogy. It's incredible. The worst Mass Effect is Mass Effect 1. Because they were trying to figure things out. And so I think that's what Expedition 33 is. Like, the bar has been set, and I feel like there's a lot of places they can expand this game. But yeah, absolutely loved it. Loved the combat. Similarly to how I was, talking about Arc Raiders, I feel like I did already like turn-based games, but it brought me back into that in a modern age, so that I'm not looking up how to play Lord of the Rings: The Third Age from the PS2 era on my PC. So
there's got to be a way.
There is a way. So, but yeah, Expedition 33 is my number 2 slot.
All right, coming in hot with my number 2, Arc Raiders, because honestly, this game does a lot of things right. I think the sound design, I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, probably, but it should have gotten a nod for that at the Game Awards, because it is so important to your survival. The robot sounds are also, like, interesting, and you can kind of identify what's happening based on, like, what Arc is making what noise nearby, listening to footsteps, communicating with other raiders. There's so much to it. It is multiplayer in a different way than I think of multiplayer games typically. Like, multiplayer, I think of having fun with your friends, playing in a cool squad, and, like, really, really doing things together. For Arc Raiders, I think I kind of like solo multiplayer more than playing with people, because, granted, once you get into, like, squads, people get really aggressive.
Yeah.
And you make so many cool solo buddies when you're playing solo. Just like other people are like, hey, do you want to help me fight this thing? And you go and kill it, and you have this whole grand adventure together. And you extract together. And sure, there's lots of, like, traders and all this stuff that makes it all very interesting. So, yeah, I think Arc Raiders, I'm really excited to see where they go from here, what the next year holds for the game. A $40 release is excellent. Some of their skins are a little expensive, but
you can still buy a skin pack with just the basic $40 purchase. So exactly. And they listened and they lowered prices on. They cut them in half. So I'm very happy about that. Very, very happy.
I will say a negative for the game is and I think that we just have to, like, suss this out as the game moves forward, as the industry moves forward, is they have AI voices for the shopkeepers in the games, which are not based on people, supposedly. The voice actor who played Sassy Vampire in Baldur's Gate 3, I should look up his name.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Sassy Vampire.
But he came, Sassy Vampire, sexy Sassy Vampire, came out with a statement saying that, he doesn't have a problem with that for, like, smaller games as they're coming up. But once you kind of reach a certain level of prominence, even if the game makes money, re-record those lines with actors and spread the wealth around, because 100%. they are how those models got to learn how to use a voice.
Yeah,
So
it's my number one problem with Embark. I think they're very loosey-goosey with the use of AI, and I think that in video games, there should be like I think if especially like with NPCs, if you want to use AI for NPCs and non-essential characters, I think that makes a lot of sense. But you can use a licensed actor actor's voice, and so that somebody actually gets paid for that work. So yeah, I'd like to see them fix that, especially with how successful financially they've been this year. So
yeah, and just an additional note here: Astarion is the name of the character. The voice actor is Neil Newborn.
Yes.
So make sure we get that guy his flowers because he deserves it for an excellent performance in that game. All right. Your number one of your top 5 games of the year this year.
My number one, you know what it is. It is Ghost of Yotei. I think like this game, I just had the most fun with this game, just hands down. Again, the adventure genre is very up my alley. It's exactly what I like in a game. It's a single player experience where I can explore and I can do what I want. The combat in Ghost of Yotei is impeccable, and it really is basically the same combat as Ghost of Tsushima, but as you said, all of the different weapons that they add feel really, really good and really cool, and you feel like you're getting more badass as the game goes on progressively. And so I had so much fun with this game. By the time that I was felt like I was nearing the end of the game, I was like, this is probably the last area. I'm probably not going to get another area. Like I started taking breaks because I didn't want it to end. I didn't want to beat it because it was going to be over. And that's not a feeling that I can say I had with any other game this year, where I was actively holding myself back because I didn't want this experience to end. So for me, Ghost of Yotei, 100% game of the year. Do I wish the story was a little bit better? Yeah, I do. And that's why I'm fine with Expedition 33 being our official game of the year. But yeah, for me personally, Ghost of Yotei just takes the cake.
But if I could sprinkle a little bit more on here for Ghost of Yotei,
yeah,
I think the story is, for me, I felt a little bit more engaged with it immediately than I did for Ghost of Tsushima.
Sure. It definitely moves faster.
So. It moves fast. Immediately out of the gate, you're like, fire, tree. But the Kitsune sort of like arc that you have with that character is, I think, pretty remarkable in terms of games and like understanding characters and what they are and become. And I think, additionally, one of the most cinematic moments I've ever had in a game happened this year playing Ghost of Yotei. I was like invading an enemy camp, and I started playing my little sitar thing, and then my wolf homie showed up, and we killed 4 or 5 people together, and then we saw there was more enemies across the bridge, and I'm just walking through the mist, ripping on my sitar, and my wolf is there, and he just jumps somebody. It was... Yeah, it made me play the game a little bit differently rather than like sprinting everywhere. I was like, no, I'm going to walk because I think Atsu's going to walk here. Like, I think she...
Yeah.
Or Atsuo. What is it?
Yeah, Atsu. Yeah, the game is a vibe, 100%. So, and it makes you want to slow down and experience things. And it's some games I think did that successfully, like Death Stranding 2 like is very much a vibe, but to me it's just this, it's no comparison. It's Ghost of Yotei is way better. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, well, what is your number one of the year, Phil? I think I know what it is, but let's hear the final statement.
Ball X Pit was an indie release this year. No, it's Expedition. That's mean to Ball X Pit. That's a great game. Expedition 33 was a game of the year, obviously. I think what it does with storytelling, in terms of some of the twists and the characters that you meet, and like what the entire world is on a level that I haven't experienced in games before. I feel like it was a philosophy lesson inside of a game, wrapped inside of a cool, like, steampunk pseudo-French art exterior of the combat. The weapons, the characters all looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
What is it? Yune, who's the girl who does magic? She is
Lune.
she Lune. She's
Yeah.
this barefoot badass who like does magic but also kicks fire into people.
Yeah.
You're fighting these beautiful painted monsters, and the music in that game goes so hard. Like the Game Awards this year opened with the Expedition 33 main song, but man, when you get to the Monoko fight and then the fight with
I mean, come on, the Monoko music is so
wow,
rad.
wow, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. Such good selections.
There is like a weird dog connection that like for that character that when it came back around and I was like, oh, it's saying bow wow wow. Holy crap. Incredible. And then hold on, let's there is the Andy Serkis character in that game.
Mm-hmm.
He has an incredible fight song and scene. Not Gustav, Renoir.
Yeah.
When you fight him, it is a pretty impactful fight, and the music that plays is like this violin that leads into this explosive electric guitar. Yeah, I mean, people are gushing about this game. It deserves it, but I'm very happy that we got this game this year and that it is as successful as it was, and hopefully will lead to more from the studio.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so excited for the studio. I'm excited for the industry that this game won. So I think the thing is like, I think with execs, I don't know that they care about award shows that much. I think they just care about the numbers. But I hope that it does say something in that maybe we should give developers some freedom to make the games that they want to play, as opposed to telling them what to make, which is kind of what Honor Bound feels like right now. So definitely wary of that one. But yeah, Expedition 33, a lovely number one. All right, Phil.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things that happened, I think last year at the Game Awards, was what is his name? Something Venki, the leader over at Larian Studios,
Yeah.
said that the game of the year next year is going to be something that we haven't heard of, but is just a team of people who are very inspired to make something new and interesting. And that was the case this year. I'm almost positive that will be the case next year, and I'm excited to see what that game will be, because at this point, I have no idea, and that's thrilling. Well, actually, it might be Grand Theft Auto 6.
Maybe if it comes out.
Yeah. Hey, big ups to Grand Theft Auto 6 and Rockstar this year for being like, May, we're coming out in May. Actually, November.
Absolutely ridiculous. These people, they're just such teases. I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of happy we don't hear about the next Elder Scrolls, because I'm like, you're just gonna delay it if you tell me what year it's gonna come out. So just wait anyway. But yeah, all right. Well, we doled out some awards. I know that we are looking forward to the new year, but before the year is out, is there a game that you kind of like wouldn't buy for yourself, but kind of want for Christmas, like you want somebody else to buy you, or a game that you're since you're gonna have some time off, you're thinking, I'm gonna be able to sink some time into this game that I haven't before? Are there any of those games like sitting on your Steam wish list or anything like that?
What is it? You know what? I'm gonna pull up my Steam wish list and look at it, because I think I just keep buying the games on my wish list, which is silly.
Yeah.
But
Steam sale tomorrow, baby.
Hey, it might be the time. I gotta. You know what? I don't know how to find my wish list because I'm an old man.
Store
tell
and
me
then top right.
There it
Yeah,
is.
but so for me, probably the two games, Borderlands 4 is a big one, where it's like, I'll play Borderlands 4, but I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I think that's one. And then the other would probably be the Dune game that we had a bad experience with. So again, it's like I'll play it. I'll give it another try. Now that it's been updated and there's been some expansions that have been launched for it now. So I'm curious to see where the game is and if it still has a population. But again, not something I'm gonna buy for myself.
You know, I have a couple of it's a couple things. I have Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I want to finish that. It's been a lot of fun. Absalom was a game that it was, I think, up for Independent Game of the Year or something. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Looks really, really good. And Escape from Tarkov is a very cute Escape from Tarkov type of game, and it's PvE. So if I'm ever feeling a little bit too run down by Arc Raiders, I can just slide into there and.
If that, I'm sure that'll go on sale. I might pick that up as well. This just seems like a fun little game to have.
Yeah. There's some good stuff this year that's still around. And oh, you know what? Sunderfolk. I need to play. I have Sunderfolk. I need to have people over and play it. It's a great game, but so a lot, Paul.
A lot. He's got no time. He's got no time for this. All right. Well, let's get you on your holiday break. We're going to sign off the GGG podcast. We're ending 2025 with episode 105. We made it over that 100 mark. Still very proud of that. But yeah, we will be back in January, and I guess we're going to be talking about Marathon, which again, really didn't think we would be doing that. So.
We're going to adapt this into a Marathon only podcast, which is pretty exciting. Bungie has paid us $7 to do that, and that's the highest bid we've had yet. So let's go.
Let's go, baby. All right.
Settle it out.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio only version on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, follow us over there as well. Give us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. We love you guys. Thank you, new subscribers this week. I see you. And we'll see you next year.
Peace.
Peace. Happy holidays, everybody.
Oh.